Hello, people. You're welcome to another episode of your darling show, Disrupting the Status Quo, DTS. Now, today is a very, very special episode because it marks the last episode of our season 1. It's been a wonderful journey with you guys, and I have to say it's been so enlightening and educative. Today's topic is feminism, the Nigerian perspective. What is feminism in Nigeria? Men has come, men aren't? Let's find out. Like I said earlier, today we're going to be talking about feminism from the Nigerian perspective. And I know immediately you hear a lot of names pop into your head, the Chimamandas, the Mo, and what have you. So let's dive straight into it. Pelumi, feminism as a Nigerian woman, what does it mean to you?
Personally, feminism to me means a way of making the two sexes, male and female, putting it on an equal scale. So whichever way that could happen, I'll define that as feminism.
So feminism is a way of trying to balance out things.
Yes.
Like bring the guys and the girls to a level playing field.
Yes.
But I already see Mark shaking his head. So Mark, I know, feminism in Nigerian Twitter, you hear things like men has come, you understand? So what, as a Nigerian man, as a young Nigerian man, what does feminism mean to you?
Well, it means giving people equal rights. If a man can have A, a woman can have A also.
Okay.
So it's like, I have this, she can also have that. And beyond that equity and all of that, is giving women a right in society, a right to speak up, a right to dream, a right to be who they really want to be, beyond being a woman.
So let me now ask him, as per guy, what does Nigerian feminism mean to you? Feminism that our Nigerian women. Let's not even talk about the Nigerian men first. Let's talk about the Nigerian women. What does feminism, the way they are pushing it on Twitter and on all social media platforms? What's that feminism?
It's like a war against men.
Okay.
Like, if you're a man, fuck you.
Sorry, we apologize for that. Cut that out.
They just like they hate men. And I'm like, what did we really do wrong? Over the years, we've messed up and all of that. But this our generation, what have we done? It's like a war against men.
Okay.
If it's a man killing, if it's a man cut his stuff, if the man is an evil, is a devil. But why? That's not feminism.
Okay, so you hear stories like, a girl cheated on this guy, and then you hear things like, he must have done something, or he must have done this thing, or maybe he didn't pay out enough attention. But when the story switch, and the guy cheats on the girl, so men has come, men deserve the worst. You shouldn't do the basic for these sexes or this sex, or so. Okay, I can see that you are raring to go. As a young Nigerian woman who has been, because at some point every Nigerian female has gone through some form of underhanded treatment because of their gender. What does feminism represent to you, and the way it is practiced in our society? Where do you think we are right now with feminism?
Okay, for me personally, feminism is basically fighting for equal rights in some level and equity for women in this man's world. Okay. And where we are, we still have a long way to go. Like, we barely scratched the surface of all the things that we actually need to do for women in our society. I know a lot of the young guys don't like to see it because they think, because they aren't like that, it doesn't exist, or it's not as bad as we're putting it. But the truth is, it is way worse. It is way worse than what is projected. In some parts of the country, we still have to fight for girl-child education. Some parts of the country that are even educated, the female child doesn't have a say in the house. Theirs is just to be in the kitchen, go to school, be in the kitchen until a man comes to marry you from your father's house. Like those kind of things. Even I, myself, that I might not have experienced it in my house, I go to work and it's still there. in some cases I have to do more to be recognized in my own profession. I go into the hospital and I'm first called a nurse before they recognize the DR on my ward coat or on my scrubs. I'm first called a nurse or a sister or auntie before I have to prove that I can treat you before you now accord me the the title that I went to school for 7 years to receive. So basically, in Nigeria, we still have a long way to go. Whether people like it or not, it's still there. I mean, I wouldn't personally brand myself a feminist, but if done right, what they are fighting for, I stand by it.
Okay, so basically what you are saying is we already have it in our system, in our culture. And then you are, from your explanation, it sounds like it's already an uphill task. Being a woman, generally. Like, just being a woman means that you are up against it.
Yes.
Say, take for instance the example you gave, when they see you, and I've actually witnessed cases like that where they see the nurse and they call him the doctor, or they see the doctor and call her the nurse.
It doesn't even have to be the nurse. It can be an attendant, a volunteer in the clinic. But he's a man, so he's doctor.
But Bayo, it's a man's world, isn't it? So, how do you see these people that claim to be feminists? Because some of them, like Chimamanda said, are just vile and wicked people.
Exactly. Some of them are just wicked. Like he said, they are not about this. Like me, like there was one time we were having this conversation here, and I still don't want it. And I said, I believe if you look for equity rather than equality, then I think it will make sense more for me. Because yesterday I saw someone say it. The guy said, in all my life, listening to all these feminists, I've never seen any of them advocate that there should be more female troops that they will accept to go and fight for. You understand? And you guys are claiming you want equality. How does that balance out? So, but when we come back down to Nigerian perspective, like Chimamanda said yesterday, like, throw away your wickedness, because this thing you guys are practicing is not more feminism,
Like
it's just
revenge.
pure wickedness.
Right.
Like you said,
Can I
it's
say
just
something?
war.
Can I say something? First of all, that isn't even feminism in the first place. That's called misandry. When you hate men.
The wickedness.
That's pure misandry. So let's not misconstrue the words and brand it as feminism. It is not feminism. It doesn't stand for what feminism stands for. It is misandry. It's just the hate of men, and it's pure wickedness and violence and unnecessary stress.
Yeah, but
But most
think
times you
exactly.
have the feminists who are misandrists. They don't like men. So they bring in that vow, that hate.
Hatred. Yeah.
So
Like
they not
Chimamanda
get.
said, those aren't that is not
But if
feminism.
you look at the Nigerian space,
That's what we are talking
That
about.
don't
today.
sit in, please don't brand
So it's
Twitter as
Nigeria-
the Nigerian space, because that is not the Nigerian space.
Can I
Twitter
say
is a
something?
world of its own.
Can I say something?
Yeah,
Okay, I remember that the first time I heard about feminism, it was
Twitter.
it was Twitter feminism, well, and at the back of my mind, I just always wonder why people always or try to or say that men are better than women are better than men, because it just doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, but then I realized late that there's the Google definition of feminism and there's a Nigerian Twitter definition of feminism. Because so the first time I heard about it, there was this hatred towards that particular word, because there was so much hatred coming from the women on Nigerian Twitter. Men are this, men are scum, men are this, men are that. And for me, what comes to mind is I think it's double standard. When as a woman, there's this hatred that you have for a man. When you probably have a brother, or at one point or the other you have encountered good men. I hate when you label every male species and scum, when we know that there will always be the bad egg and there will always be the good egg. Now, when it comes to equality, I personally believe that we should have that.
Equality.
Yes, we should have that, because some things that women do, they do better than men. Do you understand? I hate hearing that it's a man's world.
No, give us an example. Sorry guys,
Wait.
Give us an example of, because so that we can be very explicit and learn from each other. Give us an example of things that you feel women can
Women
do better than men?
Okay, so I have to be careful now because I feel like I'm walking on thin ice now. I can feel Open's.
Now that is the point.
Okay, so
Think
let me
no,
answer.
sorry. Let me put things in perspective. Do you know that what you feel right now is what a lot of Nigerian young people feel when responding to these certain questions? You already feel like you are walking on eggshells
Yeah.
because anything you say can be misconstrued. Now, I'm not trying to give you a way out. You're still going to tell us the things, but I'm just shedding light on a situation. So, still go ahead and give us an example of things that women can do far better than men.
Okay,
I'm not saying there aren't, but I just want you to.
I'm going to take it biblically. Now, when God created the world, when He created man and woman, going down towards the end of Genesis 1 and Genesis 2, what He wanted a man and a woman to do, He stated them out after the fall of man. He said, man, you're supposed to do this, woman, you're supposed to carry this, you're supposed to carry that. But at the same time, it was clear what God wanted both man and woman to come to the world to do, which was to dominate what's the things which was to dominate and to take care of the things that He has created. Do you understand? So when it comes to what exactly is a man supposed to do, a man should take care of his home, a man should do this, a man should do that. Of course, if you go to Proverbs 31, it clearly stated there that a woman can also do that. Do you understand? Now, you get to your office space and there's this work that a man is supposed to do. Because Bayo said something earlier. He said in the army, why don't we have more women than men? While I understand and I acknowledge that example, we should all, because what next thing you're going to hear is that no, a woman shouldn't be doing that. And the reality is that there are some women who are actually better at fighting wars than men.
That's not a fact. I just want to come in right there.
That's not
because there was a survey that was done. At some point, because of the clamor for equality, they made the testing and the
The
drills equal for men and women. And they found out that far less women completed the courses because there's a place of
biological composition
in defining and dividing things, which means that equality might not necessarily be applicable in all factors. Equity, yes, we agree. Equity simply means that you don't disadvantage one person because of
the person's gender.
Exactly.
You understand? Equity is fine. Equity works, and that was what was going on before the clamor for equality. But in line with what you were saying, do you feel like more women are trying to take the jobs of men now traditionally? Because I saw there was a tweet that went out some time ago that someone was talking about the reason why kitchens are so ugly is because architecture is a male-dominated field, and men are the people that usually draw up the kitchens, and that's why they are very ugly.
That's hilarious.
So, do you feel like women are trying actively now to take some male-dominated jobs?
I won't explain it that way. Are women becoming are women gradually coming into themselves in the sense that, because if you're saying that male dominated, can they do it? If they can do it, what's stopping you from giving it to them? Yeah, so I don't think I will explain it that way, that okay, do you think women are taking over male dominated jobs? No. Can a woman do the job that a man does in that space? If she can, there's nothing stopping her from doing it. So you shouldn't say that it's a man's area, so let the woman go and do it. So no.
Yeah. So taking it from a female's perspective now, there are some certain, in some areas, people who are in office jobs, you understand that there's a certain disdain or disregard for women who are at the top. It's unspoken, but it is there. How then do you deal with things like that? Because like I said earlier, at some point in almost every Nigerian woman's life, she has been a victim of inequality because of her gender. how do you, when faced with situations like that, how do you deal with them as a woman, from a woman's perspective?
Well, as a woman in my own profession, I'm a medical doctor. So in that space, I try as much as possible, whatever I need to do to be able to prove myself that yes, what a man can do in that space, I can always do too. So I try to do my best, no matter how hard it may look. I try to do my best. So whatever praise I'm able to get or reward I'm able to get, I'm okay with it.
So can I point something out?
Yes, please.
But that means you are doing more.
More.
Yes, you are
Get their
doing more.
attention.
Yes.
And that's what feminism is fighting for. We shouldn't have to do more to get the same level of accord. Because we went through the same school, we wrote the
same
same
stress, the
exams,
same exams,
we
yeah.
did the same induction to get our DR. So why should I have to prove that I am capable of doing what I went to school for?
Basically, I feel that this thing is a matter of time. You know, this whole feminism is just not like just started, but it has always been on the background. But I feel like it needs time.
I don't think it's fair to say that, because they were fighting for women to have the right to vote way back then. In biblical times, we had issues like that. We might not have had people that were as vocal as they were, but it wasn't last year that they were fighting for women to start voting.
I
It's
understand.
been a couple of years. It wasn't last year that they were fighting for women to have a say in political matters.
But
It's
can
been a
you
while.
can you compare the amount of progress that has been made as at now to those biblical times?
No, biblical times aside.
Okay.
Agreed. But I'm saying we cannot keep saying that, oh, we need a couple of years for feminism to sit in before we see.
No, that's not what she's
Give me-
saying.
give-
What she's saying is that, sorry, Brian, is that it's a process. So
Of course.
people are getting more aware now of what
Yes.
it is to have equal rights. So feminism is on a journey. We're not there yet, but if we all work together in the same spirit, in the same voice, we will definitely get there. But looking at what she said, from the biblical era to now, it's a big progress.
So there has been
In
a lot
starting
of,
Saudi Arabia, women will not allowed to drive. It's like last 2 years.
yeah.
So it's a movement, and more we speak about it.
And I
the more
feel
people
that
know
we
about
also
it.
need to be clear about what exactly is it feminism or hatred for men. Do you understand?
Exactly,
We need to actually like party like a Red Sea and be sure of what we're doing.
Exactly.
But that's
Okay.
the difference is clear.
No, it isn't.
A lot of people
Now-
misconstrue
Sorry,
it
sorry,
actually.
Sorry, Bayo, sorry.
Sorry.
Okay, sorry to cut you. The truth is, a lot of Nigerian women hide behind feminism
Yes.
to display misandry. Now, the sad part is you might not see it because you don't see it from the angle of misandry. They do that on purpose. Apart from that, they have a lot of people. Now, I'm not saying all. I know some wonderful people who are genuinely feminists in the true sense of the word feminist. But you see, there are this particular sect that you always see their comments. You always see their retweets and their likes on things that have to do with either you're shaming men or you are hating men or something very vile. Those are the people that we have the issue with. A lot of young guys, because he said something like, our generation hasn't done anything wrong, but we are suffering the consequences. Because when you say all men, you refer to people like us. You don't refer to people who are in their 60s, people who are in their 70s, because they are not of a relatable age with you. Do you understand? And that's the angle that we are coming from. Some of us are the perpetrators. I don't deny it. But most of us are the victims. So, let's take a quick break and we'll be right back. So you're welcome back, guys. So we had a quick substitution. Dr. Pelumi had to leave, but we have with us Fam Ini. I'm sure you guys know her by now. The very, very volatile Fam Ini. So as we were saying before, I heard someone say something recently. I saw a tweet that read like, okay, if he's married and his wife, who obviously earns more than him, she has like a 4-bedroom or a 5-bedroom apartment, and he just can afford maybe like a room and parlor or a mini flat or something like that. He won't move into the house with her because he has to, dwell on his pride. He's a man and he has to provide for his family. Which brings me to the point of, okay, the status quo that is on ground right now is that the men are the providers, the women are the carers. That is what is on ground. Not necessarily that is what is right or that is what is wrong, but that is what is on ground. That men are the providers and women are the carers. So, bringing it down to our Nigerian system, what do you think feminism is trying to achieve?
Okay, well, as regards gender roles, yeah, I think now the whole movement is trying to scatter the mentality of women are just supposed to stay put in the kitchen and men are supposed to be the one running around, because now a lot of men wouldn't want women as liabilities in their space and all. So yeah, more men now want, or better still, women now want, still in the line of being heard, like still in the cause of fighting for feminism. More women now want to be out there. They want to be heard. They want to be able to speak and then be heard. And then they want to not just stay put in the house, they also want to be assets. I mean, it's not just going to favor them, it's also favor the guys. So yeah, there is that.
Okay.
But before that, quickly, while I was backstage, some interesting things were said, and I want to throw in a little light on that. First of all, I really do not understand why we go about saying Nigerian feminism, because feminism is feminism. It is not confusing. It is a word. It is a movement. It is an advocacy for something. So I really do not understand when we try to put the Nigerian, because it is clear women want to be heard. Women want to fight for what is right for them.
Yeah.
Women believe, and truth is, yeah, there are actually women that don't like men.
Okay.
And feminism doesn't identify with such, and that is the truth. I believe it is clear cut.
Okay.
That is one. Two, men are not victims. You said something back when I heard while I was backstage that the older generation made mistakes and now the present generations are victims. The present generations are not victims. A lot of like you guys, a lot of the men in our generation are guilty. They are doing it.
They are doing
They
what precisely? I need you to be very explicit.
They are doing
in your
these things.
accusations.
They are doing these things that we have been fighting for.
Give
We
us
have
an
been fighting
example.
against.
Let's know what we are guilty of.
I will definitely. I would cite an instance and I would use myself. Okay, so at work, I was made to lead a team. We had a project to handle, and I was made a team lead on that project. And so we had men, we had women on that project, and there was this guy in particular. At every turn, whenever I had ideas to share, I had things to say. Whenever I called for a meeting, he was always doing things to disrupt the meeting. He would probably be saying things. He was probably saying things underneath, or Isha was always trying to. I called him the first time. I didn't say anything. I called him aside after the entire meeting and I told him that, see, this thing that you're doing is disrupting. We're not able to forge ahead because you're dividing the meeting. Please try. And although he didn't give me much audience, he just said okay. Then he left. He did that again. Then I called him and I asked him, why are you doing this consistently? And you know what he said to me? He said, I don't take instructions from women. That was what he said to me. And truth is, you would think that with the way female have been making so much noise about this thing, with the way we have been talking a lot about how we are not being respected in society, despite the fact that we're really trying as much as we can to be seen out there as we can actually, we need to have our voice and we can actually attain the same heights that men actually have. So we deserve that attention. We deserve that right. But still, this is a young man that was in his early 30s. And he was saying that to me. It just made me realize that, see, we have been fighting for this, but is it really getting to people as much as we think that it should? So I don't think that the men of our time now are the victims. No.
Can I quickly say something to what you just said?
Yeah.
See, I think that first of all, let me say that I disagree with you. Like when you say that, what is feminism? What is Nigerian? Let's be blunt and honest with ourselves.
Okay.
You know that when you go on Twitter, you see a different version.
Shay, what you see on Twitter?
Let me finish.
That's all.
You spoke, I didn't say anything.
Okay.
So let me finish. What you see on Twitter is nothing but pure hatred for men.
I think what you see on Twitter.
Can I finish? It is vile and it is nothing but nasty.
Under the umbrella of
Let's all on that, because like I said earlier, the first time I heard about feminism, it was on Twitter, and it was nothing but nasty. I had to, in fact, the person that reorientated, who taught me, was someone that I wasn't expecting to. Immediately she said equality, and I said, of course, I don't think women. I mean, we've had instances where women complain that because in this place, most of the time, you don't know what the other person is hearing. Mm-hmm. But once you know what that person is, are you serious? This person, and we are doing the same job. Okay, that's that. Now, another issue that I have is this. At the back of my mind, I personally think, now, the way the world has been created, right from before Jesus died in the Old Testament, there was a status quo. Mm-hmm. What was the status quo? Men were trained to believe that they were better than men. As twisted and as horrible as that mindset was, let's not lie to ourselves that it actually exists. Mm-hmm. Now, a child grows up in a home where the father behaves like he owns the whole world and that everything revolves around him. Now, that child grows up in that mindset and he becomes a 30, 40-year-old man. Now, sometimes, because I like to see things from both sides, don't you think that kind of man has to experience a reorientation of his mindset? Let me finish. Yeah, because we keep saying that, men are this, men are that. Yes, we understand. And we believe that at the age where, for example, the guy that you gave that thing, as silly as that thing sounds, if you are friends with him and you are close to him, you realize that he probably grew up with that kind of mindset. I'm not making any form of excuse for him. But don't we think that guy is also a victim of this mindset? So if you see it from that angle, we are saying that, this guy needs to be taught. Don't just come out and say, because whatever, if you are bringing up a problem, what exactly is the solution? Let us be taught.
Okay, hold on. Let me quickly, there are different parts of the statements that you made earlier. Now, if you were following the conversation, you'd have heard where I said some of us are guilty of the accusations.
You said most men in our generation are victims.
I said some of us are guilty of it.
I'm not after. You said most men
are
in
victims.
our generation.
Now, I'm going to quickly run a survey. In that meeting, and I want just answers, I don't want complex responses. In that meeting that you had, how many were men?
About 3 of them.
And 2 out of 3 is most.
Yeah.
You didn't base your statement or your conclusion on those 2.
I think another question you should have asked me was...
Hold on.
A guy did something.
Hold on.
The other guys didn't see issues.
No, wait. Hold on. I'm trying to reach a point here.
Okay.
Using the example you gave as a survey, it backs up my point. I said some of us are guilty of it, and I'm not defending them. Okay. You see, this is the problem that we have with feminists. You expect that once you make an accusation, it should be all-encompassing and we must accept it. That is the problem that we have with feminism. Hold on, I'll take comments. But it is something that there's no way you can tell me about it because we are people that are on the receiving end of the accusations.
True, and change is gradual.
And the point is, we need to get to that point where we understand one another. This is our own effort in trying to make you understand us.
Sorry, can I say something, please?
Oh, sorry, Mark, hold on. Let me, because we like I said, this is an opportunity for us to understand.
Right now.
This is an opportunity for us to understand one another. You need to know that when we speak up for some of us, we are not condoning the actions.
I want to ask
Shay
a question. Sheyi, when you want to educate yourself on a topic, what do you do?
You look.
I asked
Look for
you.
knowledge. You look for knowledge.
How do you go about it?
You can go about it anywhere.
I asked
go.
you, Sheyi.
I'm
when-
asking now. You can go about it anyhow.
Like,
Go on
how do
Google,
you
How
exactly?
do I personally?
Now, when you go on Google and you type in feminism, does it break it down to Nigerian feminism, European feminism, Asian feminism?
Come on, no, don't do that.
Does
Don't do
No,
that.
no.
On the backstage, we cannot remove the fact that culture differs.
I was about to say
People have
that.
different cultures.
Ini, you need to understand
My
that.
point is, please
The cultures
allow
are
me. My
different.
point
That's
is,
different. Way
you
different.
went on Twitter and then you saw vile statements
From
and you
Nigerian women.
concluded how many, what is the percent? You didn't think that it would have been necessary for you to go and make your research.
No, sorry.
But-
No, what
You
you're
saw
doing now is
that.
double standard. What you're
you
doing
did
now is
the same
double
thing.
standard.
Yeah.
So, sorry. Can I finish?
I
Robo
should
asked
have
you a
gone
question.
online and
No.
Googled that.
Robo asked you a question. Sorry. Ini, Robo asked you. Bayo, wait.
Now, wait, guys.
Robo
Hold on,
asked you a
hold on.
question now.
One house, please.
One
please.
house.
Let's hold on.
Robo asked you a question.
That's something.
Robo asked you a
Let's
question
see.
and he said, how many guys were in that meeting? You said 3. Now you are based literally everything you just said on that silly thing that
No.
Well, let me finish.
No,
Let me finish.
no,
And I wonder how his statement to what you now said. What you said was that two of those guys didn't see anything wrong.
Oh, wait, can I talk?
What I did, excuse me,
Simply pointing out a case where it defended itself.
And I said I was going to cite an instance where it affected me.
Okay.
I didn't base that
I
on
think
all
you
of
are getting-
Nigerian men.
You are getting my response wrong. What I said was in response to, this statement started from what she said. She had a problem with the fact that I said most of us are victims. And she gave an example.
No, I actually gave that instance
She gave
when you
that-
talked about gender roles.
Yes.
Then I said there were some things backstage that I felt I wanted to talk
The
about.
instance came before.
Exactly.
Now, the
Exactly.
point is,
Okay.
Yes.
Can I
okay,
comment
yeah,
now?
Mark, quickly.
Okay, so what I'm going to say is that back to her story and her experience, that guy was wrong.
We don't condone.
Being very, very ignorant is not an excuse to tell a woman to do to her.
Yeah,
Don't listen.
because she
Even
said
if
the
he
other
had
two
a
guys-
background
because she said the other
of
two guys didn't have a problem.
coming from a home
Meanwhile,
where
those guys call
his
that guy.
father-
You call that guy separately.
Separately.
And
Yes.
so how do those
You
guys
don't
not
have
have
to-
that?
So wait,
It was wrong.
So let's now go to the background. There's a lot of feminism. People don't really know what it is.
My point exactly.
For the average
Because
man
that
on
is
the
why I
street,
asked Shay,
feminism
how do
is
you go on
important.
Twitter?
Sorry.
Feminism is important. It is important. It's a foreign idea.
But it is something we can, if we are going to come
All right.
Yeah.
Let's listen.
Wait, can I tell you John my opinion?
Okay.
Sorry. Can I say? Can I say
Hold on,
something?
hold
on.
Can I say something?
Okay,
Go
okay,
first.
hold on. Let's all
I want to say something.
Okay,
I said I should from my
Mark, hold on.
experience. I want to
Hold
say
on.
I should Google my
Finish.
experience.
I want to
Hold
say
on.
something.
Let's all just.
Can
be
I
calm.
say something?
You will say something.
I want to say something.
You will say
Let us-
something.
I want to say something.
Oh, but you will talk. I know that everybody is just boiling at this point.
No,
and
no,
everybody-
still not
everybody
understand
wants to
my
get
point.
their point across.
I just
You
want
will.
to say one thing.
You will.
Before you move.
I want us to get some order before.
Allow her
you
talk
talk.
now.
I want us to get some order. You will talk. See, I understand that we are all heated and we are all passionate about this topic, but let's try as much as possible to allow the other person to talk.
Yes, please.
Now we'll go to
Six
Okwe.
back mark. What do you find?
Let's hear what you
Back
have.
say they said feminism is important,
Yes.
but is it valid?
Yes, it is.
It is valid.
To
So
who?
why?
Valid to who?
It is valid. Is it valid to you?
Feminism is
It's very valid to
It's not valid
Do
to
you
my
have
mother.
a sister,
It's
Bayo?
not valid to my mother. My mother is confused.
Is it valid to your sisters?
My mother is confused.
Is it valid? Can you have more than one sister?
It's
Is
too
it
much
valid to?
culture.
Is it
What
valid
is
to your
culture?
sisters?
Answer her
Is
question.
it valid? Is it valid to your
mother?
sisters?
Is it valid to the female
Is it
in your
valid to
life?
your
mother.
sisters?
Feminism is alien to my mother.
Is it valid to your sisters?
But you know what I think?
Did your sisters go to school? Did they give them a right to go to school? Are you the only one that went to school in your house?
I'm back.
You are the only female. Sorry, you are the only male.
But
So
wait,
let's
but wait,
ignore
guys.
wait, let's ignore
Guys,
her.
can I talk? Can I just stop,
Can
please?
you people have not?
Oh my
you've not
God.
let me.
Okay, Mark.
Oh my God.
You've not let me.
Like I said,
Oh my God.
all right. Listen.
Oh my God.
Listen. listen.
Because I don't
Mark,
understand.
can I
If
just
you
say
keep
something?
Mark,
cutting
hold
So
on.
allow her finish now, Mark. Be a
Like I said,
be a gentleman. This is what we are fighting for. We want to be heard. We want to be heard. Allow us.
now,
Don't
listen.
stop.
That's the end arrow right now.
Oh, please
Why-
tell me. You
Ini.
guys said I should Google my experience for at work.
Ini, please.
I'm sorry,
Listen.
please.
Like I said earlier, you see, we have to respect one another. I think that's basically what it boils down to right now. Let's hear each other out.
Out here.
At this point, please let nobody cut any other person. I understand that this topic is very heated and very exciting, but at the same time, we won't get to learn anything if we keep cutting each other.
Yes.
So let's allow, no matter how bold you get or how much excitement you have and you want to talk, please let's just allow them finish. Are you guys backstage? You're not upset. Keep your opinions to yourself.
Especially when you won't answer the question.
Keep your opinions to yourself. Thank you. So, okay, please go on.
You have a sister, right? Do you have a sister? Is feminism valid to your sister?
Yeah.
It is. Mark, do you
But-
have a sister?
but can I-
Do you have
No,
a
no, no,
sister?
no, 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 no,
Yeah,
no.
we have stuff.
Is it valid to your sister?
Yes, it is.
Shay, do you have a sister?
Yeah.
Is it valid to her?
Feminism.
Yes.
Google definition.
Google definition.
Is it
of
valid
Nigeria.
to your
Property is
sister?
valid to her.
Rocco, do you have a sister?
Do I don't need to have a sister for
I'm
feminism to
asking
be
a
valid to
question.
me.
I'm asking a question.
Answer
Do you have a
the
sister?
question.
Those answers.
I'm refusing to answer
So we can
because
move on.
I don't need to have a sister before feminism needs to be valid.
It's
to
valid
me.
to him.
So
It's valid
you
to me.
agree
Yeah.
that it is
It's valid for me. Yes.
Exactly. So that's my point. My point is you cannot, imported or not, it is a valid argument in our society and in our culture. We do not have to take everything that culture has given to us. According to culture, women shouldn't be working. I work. I went to school and I'm good. I'm damn good at my job.
That's right.
I have saved lives. If I was stuck in the kitchen, I wouldn't do any of this. There are 3 females in my house. We are contributing to society the way we can. My brother is the youngest. Do you expect us to have waited until he was old enough to provide for the family? My father is dead. My mother works. My mother has been working for as long as I've been alive, and she has been contributing because there were times when my dad's business wasn't doing as well, and my mom took the brunt of the financial of the financial needs of the house, and we didn't even know the difference.
Okay.
But my dad, he found nothing wrong with my mother working. Had no issues with whatever she did with herself. Don't get me wrong, they were very clear with themselves. There was no issue in my parents' house. The male and female children were equal. We're allowed to go to school. We're allowed to have an opinion. My mother worked, she contributed. When my father couldn't provide, my mom provided. When my mother wasn't doing as well at work, or my father was doing much better, he did his part. Everybody has their part to play. For you to tell me that feminism, because it's imported, you are not going to rate it, it doesn't make sense as far as I'm concerned.
See.
But
All right, now
can I say something?
hold on. Mark,
God.
I know you've been itching to say something. Like I said earlier, please let's not forget. Let's try as much as possible to not cut each other. So, Mark, I'm sorry for cutting you.
Okay, so that's fine. So, something you said, okay, that women are allowed to work equal responsibility across board. But the issue I have is when you want everybody to buy the idea of feminism. I may not buy the idea of feminism. So, I may support equal rights.
But she
equal,
never said that.
No, she's saying that it was important, like I said, that feminism should be like the general. You asked me.
I'm asking you if it's
Let's
So you asked me if my sister, yes,
If it's
sure.
valid for her.
Yes, it's valid for her, but that doesn't mean she's feminist. So I can buy the idea of equal rights does not mean I'm a feminist.
No, yeah.
And what we have now is that once you see you're not a feminist,
you'll be
like Civil Savage. Say she's not hey, she's an idiot, she's a fool. But that's her own belief. She might believe a man should work and she should eat. That's her own belief.
And it's fine.
Tiwa Savage, I need to understand, which is the problem I've always had with the word feminism. So if what feminism is all about is equality, why exactly do we have some people say that they don't buy into it? Is there more to that word? Because let's not forget what today's topic is. Feminism, the Nigerian perspective.
Yeah.
So if you are a lady, if what you're saying is that you are fighting for equality, then that means that I can call you a feminist. So why exactly do some women say that
They're not
They are
feminists.
not feminists. What exactly? Because that's the issue that I have.
But,
Do you understand?
but
I thought
you know, we said something earlier. I said something like, I said feminism can be bought in the sense that listen to the listen.
I'm waiting.
Yeah,
I'm just
your expression. I'm waiting. The expression is about security.
I'm waiting.
In the sense that I'm of the belief that okay, the guy should work, the lady should work. Like let's go bring. But if you are a billionaire, you have the money of like everything you want, and you have a wife, you can tell your wife to stay at home, take care of the kids, no matter the certificate that they have.
You can tell her to stay at home.
And no, chill. Let's be honest. Let's not play. Let's not play. No, I'm not a billionaire, but we've seen people with this money and like, no, wife, take care of the kids.
The women don't want to work, self.
Take care of the
Stay at home
kids.
and tell.
At that point,
There are women like that.
The women like that.
so at that point,
I even realize-
see,
Most
like
women.
like someone
A lot
said,
of
yeah.
women.
Yeah,
Can you say some
I
women?
will.
No, I'm not saying so. I never said, but my sister will tell you,
Maybe I said
don't ever say that
don't
thing
do that.
again.
Don't start.
It's our opinion.
He said the.
I like it when
He said
ladies
the, and I told him it
have their
was.
opinion. I'm just saying that some people, feminism can be bought. Some ladies, feminism. All this we are talking about. When a lady marries a guy that is well-to-do, and guy say, "Hey, sit down there," regardless of whatever they have, they will obey. At that point, what is happening to your feminism?
First of all,
Sorry, I don't think.
wait, please a minute. First of all, someone said something, I think Sheyi or Rocco, and you're supposed to answer that. Why did not Kokuma allow you? You now said his own on top. So I really, and I was very interested in that.
Nick is going back.
I was very, because this is an avenue for us to learn. If we do not tackle every issue as it pops up, then why are we having this discourse?
Oh my God.
That's the truth.
All right, so basically, let's
I
let me
still
try.
need a response to my question.
Let me
I still need a response to my question.
hold on.
Yes,
I'll
yes,
get
yes,
to,
yes.
we'll get to that.
You did not answer me then.
I'll get to we'll get to all of that. Like I said, this topic is a very is a very sensitive and a very emotional one, and I know that we all have things that are pent up, and we have some educating to do, because truthfully, yeah, a lot of misconception is out there.
Exactly.
A lot, and the truth is, we are coming from different angles. Our own angle as the male will be, okay, like someone said backstage, it is foreign. Now, some of us support the idea of equality. What we don't support is the idea of the feminism. Listen to that again. We support the idea of equality. We don't support feminism.
What is
because
feminism?
because of the bad things that are associated with the name feminists. Now, like we said, some vile people are hiding under the canopy of feminism to do and say a lot of things. Now, I'm going to give you an example. There's a particular young lady on that I know,
Twitter.
and I know that
On Twitter.
I know her personally,
It's
and I know that the moment she sees this video, I still love you. But she comes out clearly to say, I hate men.
That is misogyny.
Listen. She keeps saying things like, I'm a feminist and men don't deserve these things, or I'm a feminist. That's why we say we support the idea of equality, but the canopy under which it operates.
More like you should find another word, right?
We're not saying
No.
find another word.
Like
But what we are saying
That's
is,
all we have been doing.
you see,
On sex.
feminism, yeah, feminism in the idea of the word feminism is a good cause and we support it. But what we are talking about today, remember, it is our Nigerian perspective. And the perspective that we have of it is that a lot of women, and I am not being generous with the word lot, a lot of Nigerian women hide misandry under feminism. And that is what we don't support. Feminism supports equality, but we are yet to see a lot of women proposing.
Yes.
Cut me if I'm wrong at any point. We are yet to see a lot of women proposing. We are yet to see any woman go to a man's parents and ask for his hand in marriage. Any point that you see I'm wrong, cut me.
I'll cut you, bro.
That is the equality that we want to see. Now, the equality that you want to see is a woman being a human first before we see her as a human. We are not there yet. We understand.
So we can start with proposals.
You have a long way to go.
Your point
No,
now,
you don't
if we are
propose
not starting from
I'm
that,
giving
we can
an
start with
example.
proposal.
I'm giving an example, and you are taking it out of context.
Yeah.
I asked the
Are you a
question.
feminist? Innit?
She is.
She's
I
a
believe in
feminist,
the
and
cause.
she
She's
doesn't
not-
have-
no,
I believe in the
not at all.
cause.
But
You're not a
you're not a
feminist.
feminist.
I believe in the cause. I am.
Okay.
So why not just say I am?
Well, answer.
Just say I am.
No.
Okay, you're smart.
I'm not. Why am I going to? Why do I need
She
to?
doesn't
be
need to
smart
try.
here?
Just say yes.
She's a smart person.
Thanks,
Okay.
Jay. Meanwhile, okay, okay.
Am I a feminist?
Yeah.
No.
You're not feminist. Why? Now I'm confused.
You're confused.
Wait. So because this is the word feminism, in front of it, hyphen.
Feminist.
Equality. That's it. For if you hear the word feminism, it is equality. So why are you saying you are not a feminist?
Answer.
Because I firmly believe in equity above equality.
No, that's confusing for people and things to us right now.
No, now let me.
Really
That is what I always
Hold on.
Really
I don't agree that it's not for equity.
No, Mayo.
All right. Now listen.
No.
Listen.
And the truth is,
Okay.
truth is, personally, I strongly believe in a lot that feminism fights for. I strongly believe in that. But I would put equity over equality. If you ask me next year, I might say
Can I
that
ask
I'm a
something
feminist.
else?
Yeah, I'm listening.
So, what does being a feminist mean
To you.
to you?
To me,
Yes, or generally, on general knowledge.
No. From the Nigerian perspective,
Yeah. What
try
does
and
being a
always keep that
feminist
in view.
What's the
From
what does
the
being
Nigerian
a feminist in its core
As a
values
Nigerian
standing?
staying
What
in
is-
core
Nigeria.
value is fighting for equality.
So why is a feminist?
Because now, listen.
Wait. She's going
Okay.
somewhere.
See,
Okay.
let me give you a scenario. Fighting for equality, if you're going to go into sports, is saying men and women should compete against each other. Equity is saying putting biology into consideration.
Yeah.
Men have their own section, but women are entitled to have their own section of that same sport. Competing against other women. That's fine. That is equity. Equality is saying two of them have to compete in the same sport.
Yeah.
Another scenario is saying someone who is handicapped with one leg, but is also an athlete and he runs, should run against someone who has two legs. Because equality.
No, that's not
Wait.
that's wrong. That's
No, so that's what he
that's
is
a
fighting
wrong
for.
example.
So
No, it's not wrong.
Because people
It's
people
not.
with one leg have their own sport.
That's so
That's
what I'm saying.
Everybody.
No,
Come,
wait.
wait.
No.
Wait.
Let me explain.
Wait.
What feminism
Why are
means
you?
is that
Let's not start.
Ini, what feminism says is that equality, not equity, equality. What it's trying to say that men and women are equal, regardless of the factors surrounding it. That is feminism.
That's what he preaches.
Now, what she's saying is that she believes in equity, which means that both of them, although they are the same, they have their differences.
I mean, that means she doesn't really believe. So
Now,
let me
listen,
just
no,
go back.
hold on. Let me be done. Let me be done.
Yes, she doesn't believe in equality. That's not what it means.
Now, no, let me be.
And that's not feminism. So that is where.
Hold on, because you need to. No, Mark.
I'm doing this for people who are listening to us right now on the
yes.
stage. Hi guys. What I'm saying is that there's a lot of confusion. Now I'm confused. And I haven't lied to you guys. Feminism, equity, equality. I'm not a feminist. The average Nigerian does not know the difference between what feminism is and a feminist. So there's a lot of misconception, ideas. So we now need to break it down. If I believe in equality, I believe in equity.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Now, that was the explanation that I was getting to. Now,
You feel me? Yeah?
equality means,
I'm not feeling it.
like I said, equality and equity, I've defined them. Now, feminism has some parts where it supports equity. Do you understand? And that is the part that resonates with her.
He's also confused right now.
Feminism has some parts that resonate with equality, regardless of biology and everything else. And Mark,
I'm trying to just get the Google meaning of feminism so we're all
Now.
on. Yes, now. So I can see and everybody can hear about it.
okay, Mark, you do that on
Okay,
your own
off.
side.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
Alright, so like I said, equity and equality. There are some parts of feminism that the cause supports equity of both sexes. In those parts, people who want equity support those parts of feminism.
That's
So is it that they
Feminism
try to
don't
enjoy
have two meanings.
everything? Like they want to enjoy both sides.
What is
feminism
both sides?
fights
Sorry.
for?
What is both
Bayo,
sides?
I think you're getting it wrong.
Can I explain
I'm asking
myself?
the question. I'm
Can
not
I
saying-
explain
No, I
myself?
think Okwe should explain
Can I explain
herself.
myself?
Okay.
You are boxer.
Feminism, in definition, is for equality.
Equality of both sexes.
Equality of both sexes. Biology aside, everything else aside.
Okay.
Equity is putting into consideration these things.
The factors.
What does that mean?
factors.
What does that mean? So what we define?
There's no words. There's
So
no
equity is
definition.
in feminism. Is that what you're saying?
But
So
that's
that's
all
confused.
fair.
Wait,
But there's no
wait,
equity in feminism.
There is actually
Which is
equity.
why I was saying that there are some parts of feminism that support equity. Which
She
is
said she's
true.
not a feminist.
Now, she's not a feminist.
No, she of course she does not have to be.
Listen, Bayo.
See, I
Listen.
don't have to
It's
be
not
a
by
feminist
force
fight for
now.
this
No,
cause,
I'm
because this is
No, he's not
I'm
fighting you.
I'm not just
So,
asking.
but I'm
See,
telling
what's
you, I
happening
don't
saying
have
she's
to
not-
be
there's
a
nothing wrong in
feminist
that.
to fight for this cause, because this is my daily
She believes
reality.
in equity.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And equity means that I have take for instance, the 4x100 or the 100-meter dash.
I'm sorry, guys. You can't choose.
You
what-
can't choose.
No,
That's
hold
why I
on,
said
hold on.
feminism
Hold
is
on.
broken down into 4 different sections.
Oh my God.
The equality, the equity, like I think that there are words for them, like Bradley's. Sorry, I can't remember them right now. If
No,
you check,
if it's four, it's four.
It is
You
4.
have
It is
to
divided
say.
into. Sorry, I can't remember them right now.
That means it's
Because
two.
most times when you guys are arguing, and I remember when we have this argument one time, I said before you start arguing this feminism that we're talking about, you go and look at it. It is divided into 4.
Yeah, tell us.
And
tell
but
us.
most, sorry,
By
So you can't
hold on, no.
So much
This
can't
is
do that
not. We are here to learn. We're not here to. I'm not arguing. If after this, you can prove me wrong, but if you check, equality is there, equity is there. So but most times when these feminists talk, they are more about the equality. And I said, see, for me, I believe that it's not just. Don't base your argument on just this section. What about the rest?
Bayo, you know what I think? I think first of all, equality is all encompassing. Now, in certain sectors, equality might just not play off easily as we say it. Then equity comes to play, right? Now, nobody is trying to select what favors who. At the end of the day, what most females are saying is we want equal rights. We want equal rights as regards gender roles, the mindsets, as regards rights to vote, as regards opportunity that has to do with jobs, opportunity that has to do
Education.
exactly as regards when
Safety,
women
security.
do you understand? So now when we are talking as regards those, I really do not see, and please, like I said earlier, we're here to learn. When as regards security and being able to vote, I don't see where equity comes in, because you cannot say all women
Yes.
stand on one line.
Yes.
Me, I don't see where equity comes to play there. But I still stand and I say that at the end of the day, it is equality for all. Then, because I believe this is feminism here, when you arrow down, then you can do equality, as far as I'm concerned, is there. Then some part equity, then as regards race, sports, certain kinds of job and all. Then, but that is still a little part of the big picture. The big picture there is still everything that is happening in life, basically, and how women want to enjoy what men have been enjoying over time, because women deserve it. Men have had the voice to take. Men have had the right to take up position in power. It's just recently we are celebrating women that are taking up certain positions in power. Men were able to, of course, vote and do as they please as regards politics, and women had little or no say in that. As regards culture, up until now, women still drink wash dead bodies of their husband rather after they are dead, and they are not allowed to take a husband for a very long time, while after the woman is dead, men can go on and take a wife and just move on with life. Women are only saying we need this right, we want to also enjoy, we shouldn't still be as backward as things used to be. We are humans first.
That's right.
You're right.
Okay.
That's right.
Now, sorry guys.
That's right.
Sorry guys. I know that if we keep going back and forth, we can spend the whole day here. I think what I'll just try and do is pick from what everyone has said, and we'll try and understand that, like she said, feminism just means that men having a level playing field. Thank you.
To succeed.
Just
To succeed.
look at them as a person first
For gender.
before you see the person as a woman. That is the real meaning of feminism. With that, we come to the end of the show.
Love
today.
you guys.
Love you guys.
So-
Please tell us what you think downstairs. We really need your comments.
And
guys.
actually,
On email.
this is the season finale. So that brings to
So
an
we're having
end
the party, guys.
season 1
Yeah,
of
after.
DTS.
So do us up and do
You are
it.
going to be seeing
Wow.
a lot of behind the scenes as very, very rare footages that are so. And in we apologize for some of the things that you see. All right, guys, we come to the end of the show today, and we want to say thank you,
love you guys.
thank you for being with us, for all your support, for all the likes, the comments, everything. We so much love you guys. Till another season. It's been wonderful. It's been fun. It's been DTS. See you in season 2. Bye.
Follow me on Instagram, guys. On Twitter.
Jump in.
Everybody come on set. Backstage, everybody come on set. Come on, that is a very loud. It's a live set.
Push him. It's Fash birthday, guys. We want you to see our director. Please bring Fash. Bring Fash on
This is our
set.
director, right? Come on set. That's
Our director.
That's our photographer.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Alright.
Please, Aka. So you guys, when they say who is not supporting, he said feminism.
I'm so sorry. Our resident chef is actually not there.
He's looking hot, guys.
He's looking hot.
He's looking hot, guys. We need to do this.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. See you in season 2. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Running in circles, coming in tails, heads on the sides apart. Nobody said it was easy. It's oh, take me back to the start.